Right, so we'll get going. So in the description, I said there was going to be 5 strategies, because those were the ones that I thought of off the top of my head when I put this out. But actually, I've got 10. So, like I said, there's no slides, there's no workbook or anything like that, because I always find I learn a lot better when I'm just writing notes down with a pen and paper, and scribbling and doodling. So if you haven't got a pen and paper, I would suggest you get one and just make a note of these as we go along, because these are basically the 10 strategies that I use kind of day in, day out, all the time, that work for me. There's been no other kind of magic secret strategy. I'm literally just going to tell you everything that has worked for me in the past and still works for me. And all of these are kind of timeless strategies, I would say. These are not necessarily kind of trends or things that will work this year but not next year. These are all kind of timeless. I mean, I would be surprised if these ever stop working, to be honest. So, number 1, in case you want to write this down, which I think is the most important, and it's just at the heart of both businesses that I have created, is build a community, not just a collection of ideal clients. And I just can't stress this enough. I suppose there are people out there, kind of sales coaches and business coaches and things like that, who don't really focus on creating a community. But to me, oh, my dog's just joined me. But to me, the sort of most authentic way of running a business is treating your clients as your community. I'm not going to go so far as to say friends, because you obviously have to have boundaries to protect your energy. You don't want people kind of treating you like a friend and kind of asking for free advice all of the time, because you will burn out. Absolutely hold firm boundaries and protect yourself and protect your energy. But treat your potential clients and customers as your community, that you care about, that you're interested in. Don't look at people just as, potential sales, because I really feel like you can tell the difference. When you're reading somebody's social media or blog or whatever, you can tell the difference whether that person is actually interested in who they're selling to and actually wants to genuinely help, or if they're just trying to get a sale. So community building strategies, I would say just some easy and quick ones. I mean, the most obvious one is just interacting with people, encouraging people to interact with you. I mean, that's the first one. Encourage that interaction. I'm going to have to keep an eye on time, because I know I start going off on a tangent and rambling, but encourage people to interact with you. So in whatever social media you're using, ask questions and ask people to answer you, and make sure you reply to them, and make sure you reply to messages and DMs, even little comments, but just do it in an authentic way, because I've seen lots of kind of social media posts where the original, the business owner, the original poster, is asking questions, and you kind of feel that they're just asking that for the sake of the algorithm to get you to answer and to have more of that forwards and backwards, but it's not genuine. And I know everybody that's signed up for this is kind of what you would call a heart-centered, community-centered kind of person. So I hope this makes sense. Really focusing on building that community. I mean, I love a Facebook group for community. I really do. I think they're great. I think you can encourage a lot of engagement. And that's not to say that you have to be in there 24/7. You can automate posts. You can put them on you know, you can schedule things, you can put admin assists so that they're coming up regularly, like on a weekly basis. So Helen, who's just popped in, is our Takeover Friday business feature this morning in the members group. And the sort of themed days that I have in groups, they're done by admin assist, so they're done automatically. So I'm not having to be in there every 5 minutes, kind of posting those things to invite people to engage. They just run automatically. But it's creating that environment where people feel they can find other people on their wavelength. So whether that's a Facebook group, whether it's a Telegram channel, whether it's some other sort of like WhatsApp broadcast channel, something like that, but creating a space, and it doesn't really matter where, I just use Facebook because most people have it and it's easy, but creating a space where people feel like they belong, feel like they're welcome, feel like they're understood, and feel like they're part of a community. They're not just a potential sale. So that would be my absolute top tip number one strategy for making sales every day. Have a community of people who know you, trust you, hopefully like you as well. And then naturally, they are going to want to buy from you. Not every single day, not everybody will buy something every single day, but the more you focus on building that authentic community, the more those people are going to be able to see what you're actually offering. Because that's leading on to my second point. We all know how the algorithm works. Like, it's tricky. It doesn't show all of your things to everybody who follows you every single day. It just doesn't. So leading on to this point, if you have an engaged community who are actually interested in what you're selling and what you're talking about and like your vibe, and you have them in a place such as a Facebook group or a Telegram channel, or wherever it is that you choose, there's all sorts of things out there that I don't even know about, but sell every single day. So this is strategy number 2. And it sounds obvious. If you want to make sales every single day, if you want to have money coming into your account every single day, you have to sell every single day. And it kind of surprises me, although I suppose it shouldn't, because maybe I didn't realize this a couple of years ago. When I talk to clients and I say, you know, so how often are you actually selling? How often are you putting a sales post out? Oh, maybe once a week, maybe twice a week. And my answer is, well, you need to sell every single day, every single day. That's not to say you have to put a sales post on your Instagram grid every single day. You don't have to sell on your Facebook page every single day, but you need to sell somewhere every single day. So it could be, if you have a Facebook group, yes, I totally get what you mean. And we're going to come on to that, Hattie, with sales feeling icky. We're definitely going to come on to that. So it could be in your Facebook group. And like I mentioned, these could be automated posts. So you don't actually have to go in there and create a post every single day. You could have automated posts. So what I like to do is kind of what's on offer, what's coming up, that kind of thing. So I get around the whole sales feeling icky thing by thinking of it more as, you know, this is what I've got. Like, join if it you know, if it appeals to you, if this is helpful to you, if this is something that could be useful. Like, it's here for you. These are the outcomes. This is what you're going to learn. You know, it's up to you whether, yeah, exactly. Adding value. You don't want to feel like you're pushing sales, because that's going to turn you off from doing it again. And you have to do it. I mean, you don't have to, but if you want to make sales every day, it's advisable to show up every single day somewhere. And you don't want it to feel icky. You want to feel like you're being of service. And I know that pretty much everybody who's booked on for this, offers some sort of service that is, a heart-centered service that is helping other people. It's not just kind of making money for the sake of making money. We all want to help other people, and help other people kind of change their lives for the better. So that mindset shift of service, not selling, I think is really, really powerful. When you kind of get it into your head that if you don't put your offer out there, like, this is really important. If you don't take notice of anything else that I say, take notice of this. If you don't put your offer out there, you're stopping somebody else from benefiting from it. So it's really a case of get out of your own way, let go of your ego that's telling you, oh, I don't want to be pushy, I don't want to be salesy, I don't want to be icky. Like, get out of your own way, because there are people in your community who need what you're offering, what you're selling. Obviously, it's an exchange. You give them a fabulous service and they give you money. That's all it is at the end of the day. It's not selling. You're not taking advantage of anybody. They're getting something fabulous in exchange for money. And that is only right. So I would say stop thinking of it as actually selling, but put your offer out there, because people need it. And if you're so much in your head and in your ego about, oh, this is icky, I don't want to come across as pushy, like, people are going to miss out. People are going to miss out on what you have to offer, because they won't know about it. And they'll maybe go somewhere else, and they'll maybe have a bad experience, and they'll maybe get burnt. So you need to put your offer out there so that people can benefit. So that's my little side note on sales feeling icky. But yeah, strategy number 2, sell daily in various places. So it might be on your grid on Instagram. So you might want to plan that in once a week, that you have a focused, intentional sales post. It might be in your Facebook group, like I mentioned. It might be on your Facebook profile. So many people are not utilizing their Facebook profile, and it blows my mind, because I think it's just an obvious place. Social media is free. Why not use it to its full extent? If you've got your family on there, if you've got private personal stuff on there, make all of that private. Change the settings so that all of your business related stuff is public, and all of your personal stuff is private. I actually just have 2 accounts, so they're completely separate. You'll never see anything of my family life on my Facebook profile, because I have another one for that. But just keep them completely separate is the easiest way to do it. But make use of your Facebook profile so you can sell there, you can show up there, you can talk about what you're offering. Instagram stories, I've mentioned. Instagram stories are yes, I do. Yes, both personal. They changed the rules about a year ago so that you can have that. But yeah, it's worth looking into. Just keep them completely separate. Instagram stories are a great place to sell, because naturally that is where your warm audience is. Those are the people who are the most interested in what you've got to say. They're the people who will be checking your stories. So use the features in there, the poll button, the link button, the swipey buttons. I've got various sort of challenges on using Instagram stories to sell, but absolutely take advantage of that, because that is where the people who are most interested in you are. So selling daily, obviously that requires showing up and putting in kind of the energy and the effort to do that. But don't forget, you can also schedule lots of that. On your Facebook page, on your Instagram account, you can use Business Suite to schedule things. In groups, you can schedule things. So you could even have a daily sales post in your group. I would just caution that with, make sure there's other things going on in your group as well. Because if it's only sales, that will turn people off. Make sure there's other things, because I've said this to a few people, and people have said, oh, I didn't even know that you sold anything in your Facebook group. And I said, yes, I do, every single day, but you won't notice it because there's so many other things going on in there. So let me keep track of the time because we're only on number 3. So strategy number 3. This is, I think, also super, super helpful. And it is have a variety of offers. So this is, you know, what people call your offer suite, your high ticket, your medium ticket, your low ticket offers. Basically have different things at different price points that you cycle through promoting at different times during the month. So, for example, if you are a coach, and just taking this as an example, if you offer 6 weeks of support for £500, you could maybe promote that for the first week of the month. So this is quite a nice way to do it. Promoting your high ticket offer first, so your most expensive offer, talking about that, talking about the benefits, talking about the outcomes, the transformation that people can get. Really focus on that first, and then those people who've kind of taken notice of that, thought that looks interesting, but I can't afford that, that's too much money. Also, you know, I'm not 100% convinced if she's for me, like, do I absolutely 100% trust her yet? Then maybe the second, third week of the month, you promote either your medium ticket or your low ticket offer. So it might be, for me, I might promote sort of one-to-one coaching for a week or two. I mean, I don't actually promote that because I don't really want to focus on that anymore. But if I was doing that, then I would move to maybe promoting my membership, which is like a lower ticket offer. So like £15 a month, and this is what you get, that's what you get. And then the idea is that people will think, oh, I couldn't afford that £500 package with her, but I feel like a little taster would be okay. What's the harm in that? Let's see what she's got to offer if she's good. So you can offer different things at different price points, so that people can feel comfortable about signing up with you, or, you know, buying your services. I suppose, yeah, this is much more focused on services rather than products, but I think most people who've joined are kind of service based. But it would work with products as well, you know, advertising maybe your most expensive things, and then people kind of have that feeling of, you know, this is something really exclusive, not something I can really afford at the moment. But, you know, a few weeks later, oh, look, there's some much more kind of affordable things on offer. Why not try those and, you know, see if those are for me? So I hope that makes sense. Having a variety of offers, I would kind of stick to just those roughly three price points. So have something that's your most expensive thing that you offer. And obviously, well, not obviously, I suppose that is the thing that the people who are your warmest audience, that means the people who are most sort of the people who trust you, the people who feel like they really know you, the people who are ready to invest, who know that they need the transformation that you can help them with. That's what those people are going to be ready to invest in. But also having like your medium ticket offers, which are not quite so expensive, and then your lower ticket offers. So for example, like this masterclass would count as like a low ticket offer. It's £15. It's not an enormous investment. It gives you a little taster. So I hope that makes sense. Having 3 different tiers of offers. So number 4. Now, this is one of my favorite kind of make daily sales strategies. It's, I would say, a very ADHD strategy, and it really appeals to me for a little quick dopamine hit and boost. And it is what I've called it is like the low-hanging fruit, the quick cash injections the random ideas that you have, turn them into a micro offer. So you may well have, you know, your signature offer, which is probably your medium priced thing, your mid thing. So it might be a group program, it might be retreat days, it might be I don't know, you might have like a retainer where you provide a certain amount of service every month for people. Like your highest ticket would be your one-to-one. It should be your one-to-one. That's what you should that's what you should be charging most for, is your one-to-one, because that's your time, your energy. When you are exchanging time for money, one-to-one, that has to be the highest. Back to low-hanging fruit. So your low-hanging fruit, I would suggest those are kind of on a kind of even keel with your low ticket offers. So things like a masterclass, or a random pop-up event, or maybe even some testers of your one-to-one, but short. So I like doing this kind of thing all of the time, because I often have random ideas, like when I'm in the shower, or when I'm in the swimming pool, or when I'm driving and I'm sort of hypnotized, and then I kind of have an idea, oh, I could do, you know, I could do this as an event, or I could do that as a masterclass. This kind of leads into strategy 6, which I'm going to come on to in a minute, of how to promote these things. But strategy number 4, low-hanging fruit, quick cash injections. I'm doing a whole class on this in a couple of weeks, actually, about how to create these micro offers, is essentially what it is. So thinking about a very specific outcome that you can help your community with. Like I mentioned before, an example of one of my past ones was how to sell on Instagram stories. So it's not a big thing. It's not kind of like how to rebrand yourself and come across as the most audacious and expansive version of yourself, and call in the most soul aligned 6-figure clients. Like it's not that. It's a very small thing. It's a micro offer. So what I would suggest is, if you can think of one very, very specific thing, and it might be something that comes up in conversation with one of your clients, or it might be something that you see on social media that somebody else has posted and it sparks an idea in you. And you think, oh, well, I know about that. I could write a blog on that. If you can write a blog on it, you can create a micro offer on it. You can create a masterclass on it. You can create, you know, like maybe some short one-to-one taster sessions. You can create an event in person. You could run a workshop on it. You could create a mini course. It could be like a pre-recorded masterclass if you like doing that. I mean, I hate doing that because it feels really weird just speaking to myself. You could create a challenge, like a series of 5-minute videos. I do like doing that, actually, because that feels a lot less pressure. But those are all sort of like low ticket, sort of micro offers that I've done in the past that have worked really well, because of having that audience, that community, that is ready to buy. And that's why I shared that as strategy number 1, is building that community around you first, sharing value, not just selling all the time, because that does feel icky, and that is icky if that's all you're doing. And I see it online and it turns me off, and I instantly unfollow when people are selling all the time. You have to provide value, because again, it's an exchange, isn't it? Nobody is going to invest in you unless you've provided them with something in the first place. And that's definitely not to say it has to be one-to-one. It shouldn't be one-to-one. I'm gonna literally put my finger here so I don't get confused and lose where I am. But I'm just going to quickly share a little example of what not to do in terms of giving value. So one of my best friends was giving 1 hour consultations for free to anybody that was interested in her service before taking any money, before they signed up. And then obviously getting extremely frustrated and resentful if they didn't sign up for her service, which is not a good energy to be in at all. Like, it's very difficult to sell anything or, you know, to help anyone when you're already feeling resentful. So my little piece of advice would be, you know, focus on giving value that can be delivered either in a group format like this or through your content. I know Lena is amazing at sharing lots of beautiful value on her account, lots of interesting things about human design. Like, you've shared things that are like a mini course in a series of like carousel slides. So share that value and position yourself as an authority, like the person that really knows what they're talking about, but don't give away all of your time for free. Certainly not an hour. I would absolutely cap it at 20 minutes. If you're going to give away any one-to-one time for free, this is your energy. Like, 20 minutes is enough. Your content is the thing that should be doing the selling for you. So you do it and it's out there and it's done. I mean, social media is amazing for that, or blogs, or, well, we'll get onto the rest of it in a minute. I don't want to give away my next strategy without explaining it. So your low-hanging fruit for your quick cash injections, your micro offers, offering things with a clear transformation that people need and want. Obviously, people have to know that they need it and they have to want it to be able to kind of sign up for it. So that was number 4. Number 5, actually, we're doing quite well because it's 10 o'clock and we're on number 5, so we're halfway through. We should make it by 10:30. Number 5, lead generation. This is really just a question. I'm not going to go into a whole lead generation sort of masterclass, but this is a question, and one that I need to be reminded of. So when I had a coaching session a while ago and she said, what is your lead generation strategy? And I kind of thought, I'm not absolutely sure. So this is a little question to you. What are you doing to get new people into your community every day? I mean, some ideas are literally just asking your current community, inviting them to share it with their friends, to tag you in things. So in fact, my lead generation strategy for today, I can tick it because at the beginning of this masterclass, I asked all of you to take a screenshot, to tag me and say that you're on the Stack Your Sales Masterclass, because I'm going to give away an express strategy session to somebody, a one-to-one express strategy session. So that's my lead generation done for the day, because I'm inviting you to help me to get more people into my audience. That's not the only way. There are lots of different ways of getting new people into your audience. You can use ads. That's something I'm considering, to get people into my main Facebook group. Ads don't always have to be just about selling. They can be just about getting more people into your community. If you've got a lead magnet, so if you've created something like a PDF or an ebook or like a pre-recorded video or masterclass or a little how-to, you can offer that in exchange for people's email address. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute as well. So lead magnets, I would say, used to work a lot better than they work now. I'm not massively a fan of lead magnets in general, unless it's something that I'm really, really, really interested in. Generally, I won't sign up for them anymore, whereas I used to a lot, and I think a lot of people are the same. But like, lead generation doesn't just have to be virtual. It can be things like, putting on an event and offering free tickets. It can be like bring a friend for a discount or a bonus. It can be incentivizing people to share your business in whatever way that you can come up with. So that is like a little invitation for you to think about, how are you getting new people's eyes on your business every single day? It doesn't have to be a massive thing. It literally could be as simple as in the caption of a post, you could say, send this to somebody who will find it useful, for example. That's lead generation, because you're getting your content in front of new eyes. And I find that works really well with my Connect account. People will sort of tag their friends and say, oh, you should come along to these meetups, because it's, you know, it's a nice community of other women who work for themselves, or kind of share things in their Instagram stories, like I've suggested you do with this. But yeah, think about how you are getting new eyes into your community every single day. So where am I on my little list? Right. So that leads nicely into number 6, which is rather than selling, this is a strategy that I always use and I really like, because it doesn't feel icky, it doesn't feel pushy, it just feels like I'm offering something and people can tell me if they're interested or not, and then that lets me know if it's worth creating the thing. So you might have seen me do this on my profile. I will literally just put a post out saying, would anybody be interested in XYZ? Or are you struggling with XYZ? I have something for you, or I'm creating something. Let me know if you'd like the details. So you're not even putting all of the details out there. You're not being explicit. You're not putting a price on it. You're not kind of saying, I've got this program. It's on the 4th of July. It runs from 9 till 10. It's this amount of money. We're going to cover this, going to cover that. People immediately turn off. Even if it's going to be really good, people immediately turn off. But just sort of testing, like a pre-sale, putting the idea out there, testing the water, gauging the reaction is what I really like to do. So, you know, if it's crickets, if nobody replies, that's quite a good sign that actually that's not a good idea to bother creating that or putting it out there, or making the booking page, or making a graphic, or listing it, or like talking about it. I won't bother. Like if it just doesn't land, if it doesn't resonate, I won't bother. So test with a pre-sale and see if it's something that people actually are interested in, which leads into strategy number 7, which is creating a wait list. Now, if you don't already have email software, if you don't have a mailing list, so I'm not talking about like your Gmail account, I'm talking about actual email software like MailerLite, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, Sendinblue, ConvertKit. There's millions out there. It doesn't matter which one you use. I like MailerLite. That's what I use because I find it easy. But you must have an actual proper mailing list, because if you're sending emails out, even if they're to former clients, people have bought from you before, if you're sending emails out that don't have the option to unsubscribe from you, you're going against GDPR regulations. So don't do that. Please don't do that. Get an actual email list set up. It is gold. Like, I cannot tell you. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Flowdesk, Danny. I've never used it myself because I'm sort of set in my ways now with MailerLite. I will never change, but I've heard Flowdesk is really beautiful. But yeah, I would say a mailing list is absolute gold. If you're not using one yet, you're 100% leaving money on the table. Please set yourself up a mailing list ASAP with immediacy. And all the mailing list software out there, you can set up a landing page to create a waiting list. So you use strategy 6, which is you test your pre-sales. And then you move on to strategy 7, which is you say, I'll send you my waiting list link. So people put their name on the waiting list. And even if you only have 3 names on the waiting list, it doesn't matter, because that shows you that it's potentially worth doing. So I would say go out there, like, depending on what the offer is, you know, if it's an expensive offer, if it's a high ticket offer, maybe go out there for a week, getting people's names onto the waiting list before you do anything else, before you start creating the offer, before you start writing the program. Get those people kind of on the waiting list, and then definitely start selling to them also before you create the offer. I would never create anything now, because I've learned the hard way in the past. I would never create anything until I've sold it, until I've made enough money to make it viable for me. Because if I spend hours and hours and hours creating this thing and making graphics and taking pictures and writing stuff, and it's all beautiful, and then one person buys and I've made £12, I'm going to be so annoyed with myself, because that's a bad idea. So sell whatever you're creating first before you create it. I think we've all made that mistake, Denny. I wouldn't worry. I've definitely made that mistake before. So that was strategy 7. Create that waiting list, to create that buzz. Strategy 8, also so important, which again I see a lot of people not taking advantage of, and it's so easy. Optimize your social media. So I've touched on this a little bit, but really optimize your social media to be able to make sales even when you're not on social media. So I do still occasionally get people saying, oh, I can't find the link for such and such. How do I book onto such and such? I feel like I've optimized my social media as much as I possibly can. And what I mean by that is, I've got like my business page sort of linked in my profile, so people can go straight to my business page if they want to find it. I better check now. I'm teaching you this strategy. I better check, but I should have a pinned post at the top of my profile with a link to everything that I've got going on, everything that you can buy from me. I've got the same on my Facebook page. So I've got a pinned post at the top with kind of a what's on and a link to everything. So I've got everything all in the same place. I use Stan Store for this. I think it's bloody brilliant. It's so easy to use. I was gonna sign up for Kartra, Kajabi. I looked at all of the expensive things, which are like £100 plus per month. I mean, if you've already got that and you've got it set up, brilliant. I couldn't get my head around it. My brain does not have the patience. Stan Store is so quick and easy. If you want Stan Store, it will integrate with websites, I'm sure. I can send out, I'll make a note actually to send out my affiliate link if anybody wants to try it. It's free for 14 days. So the first 14 days that I used it, I made, well, quite a bit of money from my Stan Store. So it won't pay out within the first 14 days of having it. So I was kind of waiting, come on, free trial end. I want to get my money out of it. But it's great. So it basically replaces something like Linktree, but it's got more functionality. You can set up a membership on there. You can set up recurring payments. You can integrate it with a calendar. Well, there's a calendar in it. It's brilliant, in my opinion, so far. But optimize your social media so you've got all of your links in one place. If you wanted Stan Store, I'm not trying to sell it to you, but it's just what I use. I mean, I will literally just tell anybody the things that I recommend that I use. It's easy to put in your Instagram bio. You can send people to your bio with all of your links in your Stan Store, so you can have separate options. You can have work with me one-to-one. You can have, here's my signature program, here are my get-togethers, here are my low ticket offers, here's my downloadable thing. You can create digital products that you can sell from there. So you can better believe that after this session, this masterclass is going to be turned into a digital product, and it's going on my stand store for £15. So anybody that didn't see it and didn't sign up for this, they can buy it from my stand store. I love it. That's just me. But optimize all of your social media so that it's really obvious what you do and how people can buy from you. So that if people, for example, happen to see a post that you've written and they think, oh, that's really interesting, that really resonates with me. What is this sister circle that Helen is talking of? Let me go to her bio, let me go to her pinned post, and let me book on immediately. And then she wakes up the next morning and she's got sales because she didn't have to have a conversation to send the booking link or the info, or like, here's my bank details, or any of that. Automate as much as possible. If you haven't got a booking platform, highly recommend getting one, because most people don't want to be sending payments to like bank accounts because it's annoying, it's hassle. Automate it if you haven't got a way to take payments easily. So the booking platform in Standstore, I've just linked it to Stripe. So that's the payment platform that I use. Stripe works pretty much the same as PayPal. Yeah, it takes less fees than PayPal, so it's my favorite. I'm sure there are others out there, but I think most people use Stripe, to be honest. The other thing to say about optimizing your social media is, particularly in Instagram, you've got the fabulous feature of highlights. So if you're not using highlights yet, you can think of those as mini sales pages. So if you have different offers, so for example, Rachel, I know, offers yoga classes and coaching and retreat days. I don't know if you already have, but if you don't have, you could have these linked in your highlights. So you have maybe 2 or 3 slides of information about that offer. And then on the last slide, or even on every single slide, why not, have the link to buy, have the direct link to buy on a sticker on that slide. So that should have brought some water. I get too excited, that's the problem. So that when people come to your profile and they can binge through your content and think, this is really interesting, this lady knows what she's talking about, she's my vibe, they can go straight to your highlights without having to search anywhere else, and they can buy directly from your highlights. So this morning I've literally woken up to sales, 5 or 6 sales that I didn't necessarily have to do much for, because they'd gone to the highlights and just clicked there and booked the thing. So they are like mini sales pages. So if you're not using them yet, have a look at using them, because they're brilliant. So optimizing your social media. Just one little tip that I find really useful is pretend you are someone else. Or even if you can get somebody else's phone, go from their account and look at your accounts. Pretend you're somebody else. If you've got a partner or child or like a friend with social media, take their phone, log on to your accounts, pretend you are your ideal client, and see, like, is it obvious what this woman does? Like, how can I buy from her? How can I pay her money? Like, if I want to sign up from her, what can I do? This is my pet peeve. There was an account who I followed for a little while, and it was all to do with, I think it was to do with like lymphatic drainage and vagus nerve toning and all sorts of things. She was a chiropractor, like miles and miles away from me, but she shared all this amazing stuff. And I was searching her profile, like, what can I buy from this woman? I want to buy something. Has she got a program? Has she got a workshop? Like, all this stuff is amazing. It's absolute gold. Couldn't find anything. All she had on offer was one-to-one like chiropractic appointments. And I was kind of thinking, this is ridiculous. Like, I literally want to pay some money to have some more information from her, but there is no option. And I even messaged her and said, have you got a program? Have you got, like, total ADHD woman here? Like, what I want to buy from you. What have you got? So if you put yourself in your ideal client's shoes and look at your accounts with fresh eyes, is it easy to buy from you and to pay you money straight away? If it's not, have a little think about that. 10 minutes left, and we've got two last strategies. So I'm quite proud of myself. I haven't rambled on. So strategy number 9. So number 8 was optimizing your social media. Strategy number 9 is another one of my favorites for making sales every day. And this literally is something that once you've done it, you don't have to do it again for each sale, is create a stream of recurring revenue. So it doesn't have to be a membership. So obviously I do have a membership, and it started out as a tenner a month, then it went up to £12 a month. It's currently £15 a month. It will be going up. And I'm very open about that. Like, it will be going up because there will be more value being added. But when it first started and it was kind of very rough and ready, and I wasn't absolutely sure what shape it was going to take, I just thought, well, a tenner a month, get people in, see what happens. And that is a kind of tactic that I'm very keen on, just move first and refine later. But it could be a membership where you're providing something. It could be a subscription service. So I was talking to one of my clients yesterday who offers kind of an ongoing service, and we were talking about setting up more of a retainer type of thing. So she's not having to constantly be going back to previous clients or looking for new clients. The service that she offers, that is an ongoing type of a service, it just makes sense for her to offer like a retainer. So her clients pay a specific amount every week or every month, and then she delivers a specific amount of that service every week or every month. So she doesn't have to keep going back to them and saying, do you want to book in again? Do you want to have more of this? Do you want to have more of that? Or constantly having to find new customers. She can she can account for the fact that she's got however many people as sort of retainer clients who are paying like a direct debit, basically. So a membership like mine, and I'm not saying this is the only way to do it or even the best way to do it, it's just what works for me and what I really like. And I love the fact that I can check my Stripe account, and some mornings I'll have had £100 just from membership payments, and I haven't had to do anything, and I know that I'll get the same thing on the same date next month. But it's nice, even if it starts small. Well, everything starts small, but it's nice to know that you've got a certain amount of guaranteed income every month. Especially, if you've left employment and you're literally kind of relying on your self-employment income, it's nice to have kind of a base sort of level of recurring income. So yeah, it could be a membership, it could be a subscription, it could be like having clients on retainer. Just think about what you can package together, whether it's a one-to-one like retainer package. So you're providing, so for example, like 5 hours of website maintenance a month for however much money for one particular client, or a membership that's a reasonably low cost, but the idea is that you constantly add more people to the membership. Like, that's my strategy. That's what I am constantly working towards, adding more people into the membership, so that I'm aiming towards having a certain base income level without actually having to do any more work than sort of what I would have been doing last year for a fraction of the number of people. Like, it's more money, but it's no more work. So just a note on that before we move on to number 10, because number 10 is quite an easy strategy. With memberships, I think a common misconception that people have is that you need to provide a lot. Like, you need to provide a lot of resources. Like, there needs to be a whole host of masterclasses inside a platform. You need to provide kind of weekly Q&As. You need to provide like PDFs and ebooks and journals and this, that, and the other. Like, you don't. It can be whatever you want it to be. It can be as low effort as you want it to be. So my membership obviously is one free in-person event a month is included, and then you also have access to an online call every Monday lunchtime, and it alternates between having a guest speaker, so training on their kind of expert topic, or a masterminding session where we kind of go through people's different challenges in their business. And it's 1 hour a week, and that's it. And out of my time, it's 1 hour in exchange for however many members I've got in there. And the plan is to grow it. And that is something that I'm sure could work for almost all of you. Building some sort of low ticket. I mean, it doesn't even need to be low ticket. It could be high ticket if you're providing more value in there. But weighing up what you're offering in exchange for the price of it, obviously it has to make sense. Like, I know, I'm absolutely fully confident that mine £15 a month for an in-person event and the online support is 100% worth it. There's not new resources that I'm creating. There's not new like ebooks or downloadable things or any of that, because I didn't want to do that. I don't want to be sat at my desk making things like that all of the time, because I've done that in the past and it burnt me out. I've done that where I've created so much stuff for my membership in my original business, like videos and audios and this, that, and the other. And you know what? Most of it people didn't access because there was too much. And that is the really key thing, not just for memberships, but for things in general. If you overwhelm people, they just switch off. And I think more and more so these days, because we are overwhelmed anyway with technology and life and social media and the media and responsibilities of family and house and everything. There's just a lot. And being female, don't forget that. It is so overwhelming. So whatever you're doing, I would say make it as simple, as easy, as, I don't want to say underwhelming, but make it straightforward. Don't give people so much that they don't know what to do with, because I've signed up for memberships in the past and there was this on a Monday, something else on a Tuesday, this on a Wednesday, something else on a Thursday. And I left the membership, even though it was really good value. And I'm sure I could have made use of all of it, but it was overwhelming. And then it made me feel guilty that I wasn't taking advantage of it all. So that is really something to think about. If you're going to do a membership and it's going to be reasonably low cost, don't overwhelm people with too much value. Spread it out, space it out, and then people feel like they're really making the most of it. In fact, I have literally also just left another membership that was £50 a month because I wasn't making the most of it. And I felt like I was wasting my money because there was so much in there, but I just don't have the bandwidth to make the most of it. So that's something worth thinking about. And the final strategy for making sales every day and having money dropping into your account is celebrating and sharing when other people buy from you. So if somebody signs up for one of your offers, one of your programs, if you get booked to play the violin at a beautiful wedding, at a lovely hotel, share it and celebrate it and tell people about it. So my kind of thing is I usually do it on my Instagram stories. And because all of my community are women who have their own business, I will always tag them and share one of their posts and share a picture of their face. And usually they will reshare that to their profile, because it's kind of extra exposure for them, but it's extra exposure for me, because then people that look at their stories will say, oh, what's that? That looks interesting. And it kind of works both ways, but depending on what your business is. So when I used to do traumatic birth recovery, I would never use that strategy then. Obviously, that would be ridiculous. I would never tag somebody and say, oh, so-and-so's signed up for a course of traumatic birth recovery. No, don't do that. But depending on what your business is, if it's the kind of thing where people would not mind being tagged, you can ask them if they don't mind you sharing that they've signed up for something, or you can literally just go in and say, oh, I'm so pleased, I'm excited, I've had somebody else sign up for this offer, for this program, for one-to-one, or I've been booked to play or work at this place. And it's just that kind of building up that momentum, creating that buzz, building up that social proof that other people are trusting you and are investing in you. And then it kind of shows other people that are looking, oh yeah, this might be a good thing for me to invest in as well. So it's 10:32. I hope that has all made sense. That is your 10 strategies to make sales every day without feeling icky. I am going to go through the comments. If anybody needs to leave at 10:30 on the dot, that's absolutely fine. I won't be offended if you go. I'm just going to go through the comments now, because I don't allow myself to look at the comments while I'm talking. Otherwise, I'll just completely lose track. So, yes, so we've talked about sales not feeling icky, adding value rather than pushing sales. Yes, so Rachel has said, show it somewhere, vary the platform, exactly. Email list, WhatsApp regulars group, Facebook group, personal feed, Instagram, fabulous. And yes, I have 2 Facebook accounts. Yeah, so Rachel says she noticed a shift away from brand pages. Yeah, it's it's like the Facebook algorithm, really, isn't it? Obviously, they're wanting everybody to pay for ads to their Facebook page. I feel like Instagram is not quite as bad for that. I think you can still get more organic reach on Instagram. But yeah, use your Facebook profile. One thing that I would say about this is really important. Don't put direct links in any of your Facebook profile posts. So if you are selling on your Facebook profile, don't be explicit about selling. Invite people to comment or message you, because if you put links in your Facebook profile, they may well get deleted. You might even get into bother. You might get banned for a few days, because Facebook does not allow you to directly sell from your Facebook profile. So like I said before, invite people to get in touch with you, to comment, to message, all of that kind of thing. Encouraging people to participate. Literally, you can just do recurring posts in your Facebook group to get people to participate. And if nobody is participating, you can comment underneath that post to bump it. So on Monday, for example, my new theme in the main Facebook group is like testimonial, #testimonial. And the first 2 Mondays of #testimonial were amazing. There was loads and loads of people sharing sort of shout outs for other women in business. And this Monday, I think everybody had forgotten. It was like nobody had put anything in. So I just bumped it and put underneath, let's flood this group with testimonials, shout out another woman. And then I think I put my own one in as well. I think I gave a shout out to somebody. So yeah, you can bump it. You can just encourage Yeah, so regulars. WhatsApp group is a great idea. Like if you run classes like yoga classes, things like that, have that little community in a WhatsApp group. So yeah, Wix is inbuilt for mailing list. I mean, I hope it was good advice. Lovely. Just going through all of the comments. Standstore, yeah, it's a separate thing. You can definitely, if you already have a website, you can link it onto there. So yeah, it is a link in bio tool, but I would say it's more than that. Yeah, I like the fact that it can replace a course platform. There is a booking platform in Standstore. And yes, you don't want things that are overwhelming. Yes, I don't think is there any questions or anything before we finish? Because I don't want to keep you any longer than what we said. If anybody has any questions, feel free to put it in the chat or come off mute. But if not, I hope that's been useful. Let me know if it's been useful. Take a screenshot if you haven't already, put it on your Instagram stories and give us a tag. I'm glad it's been useful. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to do a giveaway tomorrow morning. So let the people who are watching on replay have a chance. Yes, and let me know how you get on. Let me know if you are starting to use any of those little strategies. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a lovely weekend. And I will see you all soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.